why God made tomorrow. Okay? So I start feeling down their spine, of course. I tell them, like, okay, I'm just looking here, getting an assessment of what's going on. And then I go through it, of course, adjust their spine. Afterwards, I set them down. I go, okay, I have a few things I want to go over with you, okay? First off, I just want to let you know there could be a few things that could happen after this. You could leave here not feeling any different. You could leave here going, wow, I feel amazing. I feel like $1 million. Or you may wake up tomorrow and feel like someone run you over with a truck, okay? It's not uncommon to be sore after an adjustment. Those bones of the spine could have been out of place since the day you were born, okay? The muscles and ligaments have got kind of used to the position the bones have been in. Now, as a change taking place with the bone, there's obviously a change taking place with those muscles and ligaments attached to those bones. Sometimes that change can be kind of uncomfortable. Kind of like if you hadn't done any physical labor, exercise, or ran for a while, you'd expect to be sore afterwards. Same kind of thing. Plus, right now, you have more life from the brain reaching your body. Organs and cells that haven't felt life in a while are starting to wake up, and healing is starting to take place. Now, sometimes during that healing process, when toxins and other things are being removed, it can be kind of uncomfortable. Now, all those areas I pushed on, which I call an adjustment, is what I call an adjustment, okay? You might not have been aware of all those things that took place, okay? All those areas that I pushed on. Your neck alone, typically, I find about 4 things in everyone's neck from the first visit, okay? So just think about it. As those messages have been passing down through your neck, those messages have been compromised before they get anywhere else in your body. But I can guarantee your body's working better now. I guarantee every time you leave here, your body's working better than when you come in, regardless of how you feel when you leave here. Even if you left here thinking, well, hey, I don't really feel any different. But what if that adjustment allowed your immune system to work better, allowed you to fight off some growth you didn't even know was there? I'd say it was a pretty good thing, and neither one of us even know if that happened, okay? So we end that part of the consultation, and then I bring them the spine, okay? What I do is I go through and I circle all the areas of the spine that I adjusted on them, okay? So I bring that out to them and I'll say, okay, these are all the areas I adjusted on you. You'll notice that these yellow things coming out there are supposed to represent the nerves and then the areas that those nerves control. But I don't want you looking at this like a road map saying, hey, I'm having some right arm pain, you need to push here. That's all I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at is what we've done here today is affected everything on this piece of paper. Because if you think about it, the messages have to pass through this top bone before they get anywhere else. This top bone alone can affect anything below it, okay, if that makes any sense. And I pull out the calendar. I have a calendar that breaks it down so everyone knows what my hours are and everything. And I show them what the hours are, all right? Then I present them with this folder. Got my card, give me a call anytime, brochure, some information about the office. Here's some information about chiropractic in this office and choices when it comes to healthcare. So I tell them to take this home with them, take a look at it, may answer some questions, but of course, it can bring up other questions as you're reading through it, okay? And if that happens, obviously, come talk to me. Right? So that's pretty much my consultation. Okay, that's what I go through with everyone that comes through the office. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. I will not touch a spine until we go through all that, because it's important for people to understand where we're at. Okay. Now, some of the things that I live by, or what I think that people need to know when they leave the office, they need to know that chiropractic is not medicine. Okay. Insurance does not pay for chiropractic. Vertebral subluxation happens every single day, whether or not we know it or not. And I'm available for people to get lifetime care. They're in the right place, and I care. These are the things I believe that they need to know, okay, from that first visit. And the 5 basic things I want people to know when they leave is that chiropractic is about life. The body is organized. Interference can happen to that organization, all right? Chiropractors assist in bringing that balance to the organization of the body. When life is restored, you can expect improved quality of life, okay? Now, 3 books that I highly recommend that people read if they haven't read is, Scott talked about them earlier, is Case Management for Straight Chiropractors by Joe Strauss. Another one, Practice Building for Straight Chiropractors by Joe Strauss. And the last one he even mentioned was Pitch Anything by Orrin Claff, okay? That one's been going around on the membership and stuff, and I finally picked it up. It's a great one, okay? It's about reframing and trying to give people your idea, all right? And just keep bringing it back to, this is what we do in the office, okay? I think it's excellent for what it is that we do because you can always bring it back to where you want it by reframing, as he calls it, okay? Basically by putting a different perspective on it for that person, okay? Without necessarily being controversial about. You just kind of redirect things, I guess, is the best way to look at it. Okay. Now I have all my material here. If anyone has any questions or would like to see what is that I hand out to people, you know, obviously I'm here. My travel card, all these different things. So, is there any questions or anything?
Okay, so you don't do an exam, you have palpation on the table, that's it?
Mhm.
Okay. And so that's the consultation. Now, after that, when all is said and done, you just don't, you tell the patient, I'm going to see you tomorrow, I'm going to see you.
I let it be their responsibility. I tell them what ideal is,
Right.
okay? After that, it's totally up to them whether or not they want to come in. I'm not to be their mama, okay? Like I said earlier, I have a hard enough time trying to run my own life.
Right.
I don't want to try to run a whole bunch of other people's lives. I'm not attached to other people's decisions, okay? If they don't want a higher quality of life, that's their choice, okay? Now, the thing is that with new practitioners and things like that, why don't people get this? You know, they get frustrated. I understand it. Well, here's how I put it, okay? Everyone out there in this society understands that eating healthy and exercising on a lifetime basis is where it's at, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, most people know that eating at McDonald's, smoking cigarettes, and drinking alcohol is not necessarily the best thing for them.
Mm.
But there's probably more people doing the bad stuff than the good stuff. It's just a choice, okay? It's a numbers game, is really what we're doing. You have to see a whole bunch of people before you touch the right people that are going to get it, okay? So it's definitely a numbers game. So that's how I look at it, okay? Is everyone going to get it? No. And this is what I tell new practitioners a lot of times. This may sound funny, but everyone's not going to do it until everyone's doing it. I mean, you know, you look at like in the 70s, okay, when people were exercising, people made fun of them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now it's more of a standard thing. People are doing that more because
Yoga.
it makes sense. Yoga. I mean, you know, all these different things that are huge now, you know. CrossFit. I mean, look at how huge CrossFit is. It's huge. It's awesome that people are starting to care about themselves. I think that humanity is moving in the right direction for our model. There is no doubt about that. I think I know we have what people are looking for. They just don't know what we have because there's too little of us telling this story. So when this story gets out to the world, it's going to be huge because this is what everyone's looking for. Dwayne was first.
Can I play the new person?
Sure. Sure.
So Doc, help me out here. I understand the importance, but how do I know when to come in? Do I just come in twice a day for the rest of my life? Do I come in just once a week? How do I know?
Okay, ideally, I would get my own spine checked every single day.
Okay.
All right? That would be ideal. Obviously, it doesn't always happen, okay? But I'm going to tell you, I still get my own spine checked 3 times a week. Been doing that for the last 10 years. I wished I would have started getting my spine checked that frequently 30 years before that, but I didn't understand this truth. Now I understand this truth, so I plan on doing it the rest of my life. But the biggest thing that's really good about that is that now my son is never going to have to worry about the things that I dealt with, all right? He's been under regular, consistent care since the day he was born. He came out, they washed him up, they weighed him. I took him, and I started checking his spine. The nurses looked at me kind of funny, but I wasn't really concerned with what they thought because, unfortunately, I understand something that they may never understand. So, did that answer your question?
Yeah, I'm just looking for the recommendation because if you say you come back, you get to choose. That leads to our therapeutic mindset again.
But see, I don't necessarily say
That's
it's a
why I
choice.
asked
I tell them what the recommendations are.
That's
After
why I
that,
asked
it's
it.
totally up to them.
That's why I asked it the way I did.
Did I answer it
Yeah.
though? I think.
So you mentioned when I forget what the fee is, and it's irrelevant, but you reward the patient at a certain point, then you lower the fee. What is that certain point?
Okay. It depends on what they want. All right, I have a fee system that allows people to come on a regular basis. Okay, I do have what's a membership kind of fee, but no one goes on the membership first visit. Okay, never happened. All right, people have to understand because, there's people that come in and want to give me my yearly fee. All right, right off the bat, and I'm like, okay, Let's do the month first, okay? Let's see if this is a good fit. See if this is something that you really want to. I don't want you to get involved in something that you're going to regret, okay? So let's just start off with the month. We'll see where it goes from there. After that, we can make a decision whether or not this is something that you want to do the rest of your life.
So after the first month, you do your initial fee, and then after the first month, you go on to your membership.
I have very few people on membership because, you know, I have a smorgasbord of fees because we have a smorgasbord of people coming in our office, okay? There's some people that pay every bill that they have through a bank draft, okay? Me, I wouldn't want to do that. And, you know, there's plenty of other people that don't want to do that. I have a yearly fee system because, you know, myself, if I want to do something and I know I can get a discount by paying for it all in 1 year, I do it. Some people have that opportunity and some don't. So like I said, I just have a smorgasbord of options for everyone because everyone's completely different. Did that get the answer?
I guess for myself, it's like that's something I've been dealing with. Is that I pretty much have my fees, and then what I wanted to do was give a membership. I have monthly fees, and people can pay it 5 months, 6 months, a year, whatever they want to do. I don't care. But what I want to do is, as you said, when you committed to 3 months, you showed me your commitment. Now instead of paying $160 a month, it's $80 a month. You come in as office. So for me, that number, though that month is, I'm thinking 3 months, and I was just trying to get an idea of what other people.
And it all depends on people. And I make sure before they start the membership that they understand that they're paying for a year of care in monthly installments.
So it's, if you find somebody is getting it in a month, then then you do whatever.
Yes.
And if you're seeing somebody's missing, then it's not going to be offered until they fly right.
They're not ready for it. Yeah. And, you know, and I see a lot of the membership people they're having the problems of people canceling and all these different things because people, unfortunately, most of them are probably going for cheap care. That's why they sign up for the month or through the membership, right? And then, of course, they're like, oh, this is not really what I want. And then they cancel their card or whatever to get out of it, okay? And it's just a fee system, okay? It's just a means of allowing people to do this on a lifetime basis. But it's only for the people that want to do it on a lifetime basis. So, Damien.
I have 2 questions,
Sure.
Nuts and bolts stuff. So the first one is, in your office, how do you, the new person who calls, you might have even said it in the beginning, do you schedule them anytime they want to come in, or do you push towards a certain time of
Yes.
the day?
Perfect. Well, first when people call in, I'll be like, okay, is this for yourself or your family? Just so that they get the idea of this is bigger than what maybe they thought, okay? So I usually try to set up appointments around times that I'm not busy. I mean, I've been doing it for a while. I kind of know the flow of the office. So I try to set them, if they're going to want to do it in the morning, I try to set up about 10:30, okay? Because by then we got a little bit of lag, from the morning to lunch, okay? So I try to do it around that time, where I'm from the office from 3 to 6. I usually try to set up about 3:30. But you know what? There's times when people have to wait 2 hours before I can get to them. But sometimes you feel bad about that, but it also gives them an opportunity to see that, wow, this isn't really what I thought it was going to be. Because they're seeing people, like I said, people coming in smiling, people leaving smiling. People ain't coming in like, oh, hey, doc, I got this going on. That doesn't happen in my office. I mean, it's, yeah.
And a second thank you. And a second question is, so in the first visit, like a lot of us, or first visit or two, we're dumping a lot of information on them.
Mm-hmm.
What ways in your office do you choose to re-anchor what you visited on the first day so they hear it again, specifically early on?
Okay. For example, if somebody comes in and like, well, right here, hurting, okay, great. I have them lay on the table and I start checking them. I don't even address it then, okay? So I start checking their spine, and then of course, most people are gonna have some thoracics going on, right? So I adjust their thoracics, and then afterwards I'm like, okay, so I know you were complaining about this low back, but you didn't say anything about this, right? Now think about what this area that I just adjusted controls. Things that are pretty important, like your heart, your lungs, a lot of things, right? The low back, there's some important stuff. Of course, you can't live without any of it. But I just try to put it in perspective that the heart and lungs probably be a little bit more important than their digestive system. You know what I'm saying? For long life. So that's one thing I try to do. it's always an orientation. It's always teaching people. I mean, because the people don't live in our model, so it's always trying to re-educate people. Of course, you got the regulars that have been with you for years. A lot of that's just friendship. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of conversations that take place when they come in, because obviously they've been coming to you for 5 years. We don't need to keep visiting this, because honestly, most people probably are coming in for the wrong reasons. They're definitely probably not coming in for our reasons, okay? But more importantly is that they keep coming in. Whether or not they get it, it doesn't really matter. The important thing is that they're getting the benefit whether or not they understand it or not. So,
Thank you.
did that answer it?
That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Mine was like a little hash on what he was saying basically, but do you, anything when you have them come in that second visit, do you do a check-in to see how much they remember, where they're on, or you just let them get right to it?
I